Hello everybody and welcome back to the Prairie Podcast. It's so exciting to have you with us today. So if you are feeling happy, sad, excited, whatever emotion you are going through right now, you are welcome here. We're so excited to have you today. And it's a really exciting day because of who is with us, Jan Cinnamon. So why don't you introduce yourself, maybe tell us a bit about who you are, what you do here at Prairie, how you ended up here, kind of give us the story.
Give you the lowdown.
Yes.
Sounds good. I was raised in Three Hills, graduated, swore I would never move back to this town, and went and got my nursing degree, worked away, and then had kids. And my husband and I, both being from small towns, were like, oh, you can't raise kids in a city. So we ended up coming back here. So never say never.
Never say never, yep.
I have been a nurse. I started my nursing career 30 years ago.
Okay.
So I've been a nurse for 26 years.
Wow, okay.
And I have been teaching since 2019.
All right.
Areas that I've worked are Emerge has always been my love. I worked Emerge in Red Deer and the Foothills in Calgary.
Okay.
And I have worked neuro, ICU, step down CCU, rural. I worked here in Three Hills rural,
really?
Which is like acute care, Emerge, OR, LD, like everything. Maternity. It's jack of all trades.
Yep.
And when I was in a temporary position in Calgary at the Foothills, and there were just some things going on with my kids and being in Calgary and all that I was really like, what am I supposed to do? And out of the blue, this opportunity came up where I had met the instructor who was here in Three Hills one time before. And had given her my email because she had said like, oh, you help teach paramedics. Have you ever thought of nurses? And for whatever reason, I never had. So I was like, oh, no. And that was as far as it went. I gave her my email, didn't care. So then when I was just questioning, like, what am I going to do? This commuting back and forth. Then it just was brought to the attention like, hey, do you want to come teach here at Prairie?
There you go.
So I had an interview. A week later, I was hired, and here I am.
Certainly. You know, we're thankful to have you, Jan. You're a real joy and a pleasure, and you're an exciting person.
Thank you.
I think we all appreciate that about you. It's fun to have you on campus, and you're a great instructor. From what I've heard from the nursing students, they value what you teach and the way you teach. So thank you. Okay, I'm curious, in your time here so far, it's been a couple of years. You've been here since 2019, and is there anything that's kind of stood out? It's like, oh, that's special about Prairie. This is something that I've really loved since being here. I know you grew up in Three Hills, so maybe you had an association beforehand, but as a prof now, what sort of thing kind of stand out? What do you love about it?
Well, one of the things I really enjoy is theoretically I'm not faculty at Prairie because I'm employed with Red Deer Polytechnic.
Yes.
But ever since day one, I have always been treated and welcomed in, and you know, as part of the fellowship and that at Prairie, which has been great because growing up, I lived in the country, but I was a townie, as we were back in the day, where I didn't attend Prairie. So. You know, you always have maybe some trepidation of if you're past, like, am I going to be accepted? Maybe my denomination doesn't fall under the right category, you know, in quotes. And it was never like that. It was like welcomed with open arms and, hey, we want you to be a part of the community here. This is our prayer time. This is our community chapel. And it was really just inclusive and warm and welcoming. So,
well, that's really exciting. It's something that we hope to emulate for everyone. And so, okay, I'm curious now, as a teacher with your students and kind of in your position, there's maybe something as a teacher that is your favorite. Maybe what's your favorite part about being a teacher in this position that you're in?
So what I love is the rewards. So you see, you're going in, you're teaching new content to these learners, and sometimes it's dry content, but sometimes it's so exciting. And I try to bring storytelling in. I try to make it relevant to them. And it's just so rewarding when you're teaching and you see that aha moment where it clicks for them. or they don't have maybe confidence in doing a skill, and you're working on it in the lab setting, and then they get it. And then it's just this reward to see their confidence level increase. And you don't often get that in nursing. Don't get me wrong, I love bedside nursing. I'm very passionate about my career. The rewards, although they are there, aren't as frequent, or you don't see them as often. Where I found in teaching, I could see the impact that I was having on somebody's nursing journey. And the funny thing is the hook, line, and sinker that brought me to Prairie was this nursing instructor. She said to me, Jan, I can see your passion in nursing. I can see that you are person-centered care, that you love on your patients and everything. She said, now imagine if you took that passion and you could instill that into students. How many passionate nurses could you create? And it just sent shivers up me, and I was like, okay,
That's what you're going to do?
Yeah.
Wow, awesome. And I'm curious, do you happen to have a story or an encounter-specific story that you would mind sharing with us from your experience teaching, maybe something along these lines of instilling or instructing?
So, a couple of stories. One girl, she's graduated, she's nursing, and at the end of first year was like, I don't know if this is for me. Like, I don't know if nursing is for me. You told me to hang in here until we had our first clinical, and I did, and I just don't know. And, having those real conversations that, this area might not be an area that you're being called to go work at. It could be, say, maternity or pediatrics or surgical, something we haven't covered that we do in our second year. And so it's okay not to know for now. There's so many different areas you can work. And so watching that student go through the process, being in second year, and then all of a sudden have that, this is what I want. And go, great, right? If you get it for your practicum, wonderful. If you don't, you're going to learn something from whatever practicum you're on. You're going to get these gold nuggets, and you're going to take them forward. And that person is nursing and loving what they're doing.
That's awesome.
So
that's really incredible. Yeah.
That was an amazing story. A couple of things too is some of the learners don't have the confidence in themselves, and so you believe in them until they're ready to believe in themselves. And it was this one course that they were unsuccessful in the one lab skill, and it just wrecked their world, and they didn't think that they thought that was it, that was all. And having those conversations afterwards and along saying, it doesn't mean no forever. Maybe you need to take some, because they take Bible and nursing courses together. So it's a heavy load. So it's like, maybe this is what's supposed to happen. Maybe you're supposed to focus on your Bible studies, take a few courses, and then you're coming back into the nursing program with the ability to focus on that. And you just might not be ready yet. And so that was good, and I knew nothing different until the course ended. She graduated, she did that, came back, graduated, and I got a letter from her with a picture of us on her graduation day, just proclaiming, I couldn't have done this without your support. I was ready to quit. I thought it was over. And I think that's probably one of the most important things is that I can see from the 10,000 feet, whereas when you're in the middle of it, you're just down and you can't see past that. And so I just feel that I can help facilitate that journey, help go with them on the journey. And some people have started nursing and just really identified, what, honestly, this is not for me. And that's okay too, right?
Certainly. Hey, thank you for sharing. Those are really encouraging stories, and I think it's I think it could actually be a testimony of a lot of students. Like you said, we're in the midst of it. Things kind of seem to all be pushing down. You're failing over here, but you still get through to the end, and it's very rewarding. But as the instructor, you can see from that 10,000-foot perspective and kind of be a guide for them and help along the way. Okay, I'm curious, thinking of this nursing program, you've mentioned bits and pieces about it. Okay, I'm curious. 2 things. Could you explain for us very briefly what the nursing program covers? And then secondly, maybe in that, what is unique about what we offer here at Prairie?
Those are great questions. So the nursing program at Prairie, the nursing courses are Red Deer Polytechnic courses. So they end up getting a diploma in ministry from Prairie College and a diploma in practical nursing from Red Deer Polytechnic.
Okay.
So that kind of is through that. We follow a curriculum. We have it over 2 years. There's not much of a break. I think their longest break is
what I've seen,
3 weeks in the Christmas season. And we very intuitively are like, you don't disrupt that 3 weeks. This is the longest they get. But so it is hard. So that's where the nursing courses look like. But what makes it unique at Prairie is that our students have the ability to get the best of both worlds, I'm going to say.
Okay.
Our classes are smaller. We don't share the lab with any other like HCAs or RNs. Yet. Right now it's just the practical nursing program. And so with those smaller classes, you get more one-on-one time with the instructor, face-to-face, where you're not just a number. You're a name, which can be good or bad, right? Mostly good, I see. Right? And so you establish that personal relationship. So I find that that's very unique. The other thing is nursing itself is holistic, meaning that we care for the mind, body, and soul of the people that we're looking after. And I think that taking your nursing at Prairie gives you kind of a heads up because you have that knowledge on spirituality and that portion of it. When you go out into the nursing profession, you kind of have a heads up on like a leading on that to be able to incorporate holistic care. Because when we're with our clients, patients, it's either in the best time of their lives or the worst time of their lives, right? From birth to death and so many things in between. And so I just think that by going to Christian college, you really get an insight as to that holism of nursing and how to love on others and serve others.
Oh, certainly. And thanks for sharing that. It's a really fascinating program, the way we're partnered with Red Deer, and you get the Bible, like you say. I never thought about that before, the holistic sense of nursing. And what you're doing here is you're training up both of the skills and understanding. There's a lot more going on here than first meets the eye when you're working in that world. Okay, I'm curious, Jen. I want to go back to you.
Okay.
I want to hear from you about what's going on in your life. So I'm curious, would you mind sharing with us something that God has been teaching you lately? I love to answer people this question because I feel like there's a lot of different answers that people give, but all of them are truths that all of us can live by. That's what's fascinating about it. So I'm curious, is there something that God's been kind of leading you in or showing you lately?
I think this was probably the hardest question I had to chew on when I was looking through before this podcast, thinking, wow, like what is it really? And I really think that I've always had this kind, compassionate, look out for others attitude and positivity and optimism. And so, I really am, I think I'm being called to reach within myself to help to understand what certain learners are going through on their journey, to better help them maneuver through it. And not just nurses. Like I'll have some, it's funny because I predominantly have the nurses, but I also am like known for, if you need a hug or a mom hug, go see Jan on campus. So there are other people outside of the nursing program that sometimes I think we just need that humanity of kindness, no judgment, come as you are, and be open. And I think that that's, I don't know, it's kind of, I feel like I'm rambling, but I think it's just being called to be kind and be listening and help others on their journey.
Yeah.
Specifically right now, nurses, because that's who I work with, but like it's even faculty, and sometimes I'll run up to Becky's office because I need a hug, because Becky gives good hugs too.
Yes.
Or, like things along that line, that I really think it's just listening to what it is, because I often find I'm presented with situations that, you need diplomacy and how to help somebody work through something without giving them the answer.
Yep.
And just try and support them on that journey, which can be challenging.
There's a lot of difficulty when it comes to that, but there's also, it's a blessing. And I think it's what we're called to do as believers, to have that service mind, to be of kind heart, and to be willing to step into a situation, maybe not even knowing the answer, how to say the answer, but just to actually be there as a good friend.
Yeah. So. And I just find that I'm often in situations where I was meant to be. Like even when I was bedside nursing, there were just things that happened that I knew were meant to happen when I was there, because I'm the one who was supposed to, console or to help walk the path.
Yeah. Certainly, and I always think back to the Christmas markets. You're there serving cookies at every Christmas market. Just another wonderful way to bless the community, right?
Yes. Okay. Fellowship and food.
Yes. Okay. This is maybe a bit off topic. I've always wondered, do you make a lot of those baked goods yourself, or no?
We get members of our congregation to commit to baking so many. So I supplied 15 dozen this year. And mine are usually the lemon drops, or the lemon ones, or what did I do? Vanilla ones, I think, the one year. But good. So it's just people who are in our congregation or outside of it that volunteer to bake for us.
Oh, certainly. Okay. Yeah, I just came to mind right now, so I had to ask.
I'm glad you asked.
Oh, certainly. Well, I don't have many more questions for you now. And, thinking back over everything we've talked about, from what the nursing program is about, how you've been led here, how God has used you, even in your position in your work, and now as a teacher, and just the honor that is. I'm curious, do you have any final thoughts for our listeners? Anything you'd like to share with them?
Come to Prairie, to the nursing program.
There you go.
I think that would be a really smart thing to do.
Yep.
But yeah, I just think that wherever you are on your journey, know that you're loved, and know that there's people out there who care and are willing to support you. You just don't know it yet.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much, Jan, for coming on here. And thank you, listeners, for joining us as well. It's been a real pleasure having you here, Jan. And for all of you out there, if you want to learn about our nursing program, you can head to our website, www.prairie.edu. There's a nursing program underneath the academics tab. If you know of another staff, faculty, or somebody else you'd love to see on the podcast, you can send an email to marketing@prairie.edu or alumni@prairie.edu. Make sure to check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Thank you so much, Jan. This was a pleasure.
Andrew. It was great. Take care.